that really feels like it's the only bullshit attack in the game. That really feels like it's the only one. I don't even know, it might even be the last one, though I don't think it is the last one. I don't think it is the last one, but it's probably close to being the last one. But yeah, the worst part is that I screwed up again against that attack with the spinning glowy things. If I hadn't screwed up there, I probably would have a better chance. But you know, as I said, it's pretty hard not to screw up there. Because I feel again that the hitboxes are misplaced on that attack. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm paying too much attention to something and I'm not paying attention to other bullets. Can someone right there that is watching maybe tell me if it's only me or if it's actually the bullets are actually bigger? I don't know. I mean, I should probably watch the replay. If I watch a replay, I will be able to say something like, yes, this is indeed bullshit, or, you know, I'm blind, right? One of the two. Maybe they are both. Maybe it is bullshit and I'm also blind. They don't have to be mutually exclusive after all. Then when you skip the dialogue like that, it sounds like there is a rat squeaking. It makes sense. When you make these high-pitched voices. But yeah, I will say that this game is indeed a miracle. It's a miracle how an indie company, well, a Doshin company like this, have been able to get their hands in such high budget. They have voice actresses, have pretty much everything in the book. They have decent art, godlike music, decent looking backgrounds, decent sprite work as well. So either the people in this Doshin circle are geniuses, or this game is really a miracle. Or, you know, maybe both. It can be both. It can pretty much be both. Wow. I saw that bullet and I was like, damn, I'm dead. And then I just pressed the wrong button, by the way, but I also pressed the right button. I pressed them both at the same time because that was a panic bomb. And it worked. These things here, these enemies that aim at you, remind me of Daisabachi's minions on the Donpachi Daifukatsu. You know, when he summons those little guns that just shoot straight at you. Remind me of that. I mean, the shot is pretty similar. And also, speaking of similarities with Cave, I can actually understand now when Riemann say that the bullets here look pretty similar to Cave. They have this effect that Touhou bullets don't have, which is basically having the bullets be constantly twitching, right? As I don't know if you can see it, it's probably easy to see, but see, for example, those blue bullets, they are not always just blue, like they basically are light blue, dark blue, you know, normal blue. Like they are constantly twitching like that, kinda to have it more emphasis, I guess. And that's something that every Cave game, or at least most of them, have. And that's something that Touhou does not have. I mean, obviously Touhou does have glowy bullets, but they don't twitch like that. Chaos Blaster. Yeah, that move or that attack, I gotta say, has a pretty generic name. Chaos Blaster. I think I already said this. Might have said this in one of my previous runs, but holy shit. Yeah, I think I said it, and I also say that it reminds me of the name of a Broly attack. I also love the fact that every single attack from the bosses have a name. That's pretty cool. So you can obviously tell that this series had some pretty big inspiration from Touhou, which is great. But yeah, you can see it. Also, I wonder when this specific game came out. I mean the third one. Because I'm not sure. But you know, I don't know if they're gonna make another one, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward. Gotcha. I wonder why, you know, in a lot of these games that the protagonists or, you know, the characters just talk Japanese, I wonder why when they are casually talking Japanese, like in the middle of something, why there aren't any subtitles. I understand that it might be just to not distract the player, but you know, it will be cool to know what they are saying, right? That's something that especially bothered me with BlazBlue, right? Or, you know, any fighting game, where basically the introduction and the winning quotes are not translated for some stupid reason, right? Like, I mean, there's nothing going on, it's just the cutscene of the characters talking shit or whatever. So it's not like it will be distracting to the player to have the subtitles right there. Yeah, I don't know why that was never a standard on fighting games. And it also seems like it's not a standard on Danmaku games either, as you can see by the multiple Cave games, right? None of the Cave games have subtitles in the in-game dialogue. And you don't even have to put it down there where the player is. I mean, where the playable character is. You can just put it in like the side. I mean, for example, here you have free space at the right of the interface. You can put it there. Or I don't know, somewhere. It's weird. Definitely is weird. So I guess that, well, no, this is not the case with this game, but I'm assuming that with fighting games a lot of people expect to have the dubs activated, the English dubs activated, to be able to understand those scenes. The problem is that sadly, most of the time, and again I'm saying most of the time, I'm not saying always, the English dub fucking sucks. So, I mean, sure, it will be really useful to understand what they are saying, but if I have to exchange that for the quality of the dub, I'd rather not understand what they are saying. And it's especially noticeable because it comes from Japanese. And when it comes to Japanese media, they have the tendency, or I don't know if I should call it the culture, to exaggerate everything. So obviously everything they say in voice acting sounds way more passionate because of it. Which it might not be good for some people, but it's definitely good to me. But yeah, I know that some people are definitely not into that. Oh yeah, I am into that. I guess if the original language was something like Italian or something like that, maybe I will opt for the English. Well, I don't even know if I will opt for the English there. Because I feel like listening to the game the way it was meant to be listened to is pretty important. So it doesn't matter if the original language is Italian, German, or whatever language it is. I feel like sometimes it's better to not understand what they are saying at the expense of, you know, I mean, or listening to the original language at the expense of not understanding it, I feel. Because I don't know, it's kind of like, for example, playing Half-Life with an HD mod, right? I mean, sure, that's great if you already play the game, but I don't feel like that's great if you'd never played Half-Life before. Because it's like you miss the context in which the game was produced, right? So you might held it to some really high standards just because of how it looks, when in reality that game came literally 15 years ago, right? So I feel like it's pretty important to put everything in its context, right? And Half-Life is just an example. It obviously also includes every other game or media, right? To be able to enjoy it in its original depiction, right? Obviously, once you already enjoyed it in its original depiction, it makes sense to, you know, just change it, right? Just try different mods. Like, for example, me trying the Toho 16 Bravi mod. I mean, once you had the original experience, you can just, you know, probably change it the way you please. I feel like the first time it has to be special. It has to be the original, the intended way. Well, I know that you obviously can argue that playing Toho for the first time while using English subtitles goes against the intended way, you probably will be right. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be the intended way to play the game without understanding the dialogues. So yeah, that's what I will say about that. Which is kind of the reason why I wish that, again, games like this had subtitles in-game, like on this dialogue. Like, what the hell is she saying? I don't know, have no clue. But, you know, the game also won't tell me, so it's like, I can't do much. Yeah, well, yeah, just learn Japanese forehead. Yeah, I could do that. That will require some pretty interesting effort. Nice. What's a nice stage 4? Nice. Good stuff that that pattern ended right there, because otherwise I'm pretty sure I would have gotten hit. Well, probably not, because I still have one bomb left. Oh, this pattern is so damn dangerous. Again, it's not so much like the pattern itself, it's hard, it's just the way they spawn. It's kind of like they spawn out of nothing. Like you don't have a clear indicator of where the bullets start spawning. I mean, sure, you can look at which bullets are right at the end of the row of bullets and be like, okay, this is where they start, but it is not as simple as that. Oh, and this one is pretty hard. I will bomb if I had bombs, that is, obviously. Yeah, I guess that one is the hardest attack up until this point, which makes sense. Makes sense, because it's literally the last attack of stage 4. But yeah, definitely feels like it's the hardest one. I know that I already say this, but the soundtrack is surprisingly top tier. It's just so good. Like, it's kind of like I don't know if this is the best comparison that I can give, but it's kind of like heavy metal, well, not heavy metal, but like metal Mega Man, right? It's like it was metal Mega Man music in a way. I mean, Mega Man music is already fantastic, so adding metal to it is kind of like a power-up. Especially this track. If there is one track that reminds me of Mega Man, it's this one. Gotcha. Something also about this game that I personally like is how the difficulty gradually increases, which is something that you might think is a given, but in reality it's not always a given. Like, take for example Lennon 2 and how the stage 2 boss is literally harder than the rest of the bosses. Well, maybe except the final boss, right? But I really like the way the difficulty increases. It really feels like a gradual increase. Though I probably can't say the same about the bosses themselves. Because as I told you before, the second phase of this boss, the first attack of that phase, it's harder than the rest. But other than that, I will say that it's mostly pretty balanced, right? Oh, that was a bad choice. Gotcha. I'm fine there. Yep, I am. Ooh. That almost took me by surprise. Also, something that this game has is the beauty of the patterns. You don't just have hard patterns, you have patterns that look good. Which is also another reason why it reminds me a lot of Toho. I wonder, yesterday we were talking about how a lot of shoot 'em up players talk shit about Toho, right? Well, I wonder how they feel about this game. Because this game, even if it obviously might not have the level of RNG that Toho has, it's pretty similar in a lot of ways to Toho, right? So, will they also talk shit about this game, or will they be like, this game is actually good? I don't know. I don't know what they will think. I mean, the only shoot 'em up player that I know that it's exclusively like shoot 'em up is Funded, but he also plays Toho. He doesn't have a problem with Toho. I don't think I really had many people in my chat be like Toho is trash lul. Well, I guess mostly because I'm a Toho streamer, so that will be pretty stupid. but yeah, not many people I remember just talking shit about Toho like that. I mean, yeah, you can obviously say that there are people that talk shit about specific Toho game, but I also do that. I mean, people that specifically talk shit about Toho just for being Toho. I don't think I've seen any around here that do that. I mean, probably those people, once they read my channel description, they are like, damn, this is part of the problem. I'm out of here. I had no bombs there. I definitely would have used bomb if I had one. Something else that this game has, pretty similarly to Toho, is the slow nature of the attacks. A lot of these attacks are really slow, like this one for example, right? You don't have pretty high speed frenetic attacks even on stages. The stage enemies usually just throw pretty slow bullets, even those centipedes that are right next to where you are, even those have pretty slow bullets. I will say for the most part this game really is incredibly similar to Toho. At least the Toho feel. Obviously not when it comes to the whole ambience and, you know, the general thematic of the game. Oh fuck. I should have bomb there. I don't know how many bombs I had. I probably had 2, which is a problem. Sometimes I think that it's way easier to dodge this pattern if I dodge them from the top, though sometimes even that's not enough, because some of them activate pretty late, and if they activate pretty late, once you are up there on the top, they are still gonna track you down. And sometimes it's hard to see, especially if they are below you, they are even harder to see than if they were above you, right? Anyways, I hope that it's still gonna be enough. I mean, 4 lives and 1 bomb might not be the best, but it all comes down to if I don't screw up on the boss fight. Which is hard enough, yes, but we will see. That sucks. I didn't have enough to use my missiles on that enemy. That's truly a shame. I got an extend and I'm on my way to get another one. So that's good. Yeah, those are probably the most dangerous enemies here. Which obviously they are not that dangerous if you choose missile them, right? Like if you use the missile, they are not challenging at all, but obviously sometimes the missile is not available and you're fucked, right? But that's fine. Okay, 3 bombs and probably another 10 while I fight. Yeah, I don't know if you were right about me. Probably should save that until after the fight. Okay. Yeah, the reason why I got distracted there is because I saw some suspicious frame drops. Thankfully they were just a second for now. But yeah, I got a little bit scared. But no, it seems that it's mostly fine. Damn it. Damn, she still has the shield when you die. Okay, this might be a good opportunity to bomb if I do it on the right time. Okay, and this is a pretty good moment to bomb. Just utterly bomb this despicable pattern. This pattern really sucks. But I guess it's just a gimmick pattern. Like you just... fuck. Unbelievable. I thought you were invincible for way longer than that. I'm still screwing up, and that's because those damn circles, they kill me when, you know, when I'm right there. This is a pretty bad situation, holy shit. It seems like it doesn't matter how well I do before this, I am destined to throw the run here, on that pattern. Which is sad to say the least, but... damn. Really would like to practice that pattern, but I don't think you can. What's so funny? Damn it. I'm panicking a little bit. That's not it. Rosa Gigantea, huh? Would be nice to get an extend, you know that? Sadly, I don't think I can get an extend. Not anytime soon, that is. Wow, I got saved. Oh shit, Dark Fantasy. Interesting name. Damn, even the song is afraid. I gotcha? No, it seems like there's more. I don't think she... Oh. Well, with that little body it doesn't surprise me. Yeah. We got the classic shibate of undead that are not immortal. See, she's only 5,000 years old. Pretty young. So I'll be the Cardinal Lord now, huh? Pandemonium, huh? Good stuff. And we got the stem right where we didn't need it. So I guess I'm just gonna chill in this desolated land and yeah, good reward. Interesting. That was pretty nice. I actually did it almost about to die. I had zero, well, I have 1 life and 0 bombs. Good shit. Well, and we get the actual ending now. Or choose a column of fire. Oh, I gotcha. Nice. Well, that was a pretty good experience. Holy shit. And it was really close to being an utter defeat right at the last attack. We have been able to pull through. That was pretty cool. That definitely was pretty cool. And I now understand why a lot of people were recommending me this specific one, the third one. This one is definitely pretty well done. To the point where I really don't have any complaint, I gotta say. Maybe the only complaint I will have is the fact that you can remap shift as a valid key. Shift is basically invalid. You cannot use that. You can only use letters, as far as I know, on the keyboard. Anything else is just not allowed. But other than that, the game is incredibly good gameplay-wise, soundtrack-wise, character design-wise, graphic-wise is decent. So, really no complaints, sheesh. That was a pretty good one, I gotta say. Oh, is this a new image? Is that, what's that? Is that a tower? It is a tower. And that's me. Alright. Good shit. Okay. Yeah, that definitely was an experience that I can recommend. That's for sure. Let me save replay. Alright, good stuff.